Hey guys, it's me T coming at you with a today's read. Forgive everything. I'm in my pajamas still. I'm like totally taking a chill out day. I don't give a damn. So nothing's done. Usually I like my bed made. It's not even made. And so I just like really am taking advantage of just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So today is like my Sunday. Let's put it that way. What was I going to say? But I did want to come at you with these readings because I really always want to come at you with these readings. I think they're very important and I care about it a lot in terms of sharing my knowledge and sharing my love and just like the beauty of life, right? Like I care about it a lot. So I feel like and I like to see like what comes through in the cards and what kind of is very important for all of us to know, right? Like because sometimes I don't even know what's going to go on. So these I have already shuffled offline. And these I will shuffle. Do I shuffle these right now? No, I'm getting not to either. Okay, like I'm feeling. I don't know why this is like bothering me, but it's weird. It's like stretched out, but it's not stretched out. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's acting like it's stretched out, but it ain't. It ain't stretched. Okay, whatever. So they're telling me to turn all the cards over. Now these cards are interesting. These cards are I Ching cards. They're amazingly written. The descriptions are fucking fantastic on them. And but the whole thing is, and I Ching means change, right? So I purely resonate with change. I love change very much so. So I just like I love change. I think it's like super exciting, super surprising, and yeah. But the only thing is because there's so many little parts and pieces to Feng Shui. I'm still in the process of learning because I haven't like picked it up yet. When like I haven't picked it up like in class, I didn't pick it up so well. There's always going to be like strengths and weaknesses, right? And different things that kind of resonate with you. And so what I want to say is that this I Ching part of me is growing in terms of conceptually grasping it. Because it kind of takes memorization to like know what these bricks are in a sense, right? But with these cards, since I don't actually know what the bricks are, sometimes I go off of like what they look like to me. I mean, a lot of the times I go off of what they look like to me. So I kind of musingly interpret them and I like it like that. Okay. Right off the bat, I'm getting that. Okay, so this morning, what I'm getting is you might have had a dream, but there's something in spirit or coming. Like, I feel like spirit is kind of surrounding you today, and it's complete kind of like karmic cycles. Definitely completion of a cycle, yin and yang. This is a very balanced element here. And it's also kind of, it's very much so yin and yang because it's like wholesome. There's two sets of balanced kind of bricks there that are kind of matching. So it's like one person is purely kind of like solid in themselves and the other person is purely solid in themselves. And it's kind of like what I want to say is very interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I'm getting like one is more like mystical and magical than the other, but the other one is kind of like interested in it, right? Open to, receiving that information. I'm definitely feeling here that this is a romantic type of essence. I know this is like knowledge, spirituality, and, about self. But I feel as though when it comes to self, I feel as though you've definitely come to a full circle within and of yourself, but also you're attracting your counterpart. So, again, these readings are more so for people that kind of resonate with me and my lifestyle and kind of what's going on. So it may not be for you, or it may be for you in a sense that, like, if you are taken, then the other person is kind of coming around to, understanding you better, right? Because they see that you are actually flowing in the self-love way and they're kind of following you in it, right? So you're also kind of making them wholesome in terms of like you, like by you making yourself wholesome, you have now made them wholesome as well, and they're really following in your footsteps. That's what I'm sensing. There was something else that I was sensing here too. The number 30. So it's very interesting. This is a number of expansion. So sorry for the outside noise. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm going to try to like overtalk it. There is something, oh, so that's what it was, that you are actually attracting your counterpart, which is like, they might be like karmically cycled through in terms of like, you might have known them in a past life. I know that's been channeled a lot lately, but here's what I really feel. This is what I initially got, is that you may have dreamt of them, actually. In case you don't know them, you may have dreamt of them. And so that you kind of do know them, you know what I'm saying? But I also feel as though if you are aware, like me, you kind of might already know who it is, unless the, universe surprises you. Okay, I had to just double check what was going on there for a second. So where's my phone? I don't know, it buzzed. I gotta find it. So long story short, yeah, I mean, this is just coming together of sorts, right? You're definitely like in spirit, and spirit itself. It's like in spirit you're connecting with your counterpart, but also spirit has sent you this wholesomeness, which is kind of like, and 3 is the number of love too, right? So, it's like an expansion of love. So you're basically, they're just telling you that you're ready, right? Like you've come into like this knowing that you're ready. And by the way, guys, I wasn't getting that these are either yin or yang, which is very interesting because usually I ask and then I receive a clear idea, but I'm getting that both set of cards here are for both the yin and yang. So that's why it's very interesting to me that I feel like, this card clearly depicts like there has been a coming together of sorts, like within yourself, right? And look at that coming together of sorts in terms of, now each of the set of bricks are now together, right? They're the same. They're like yin and yang, but they're now kind of bonded. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a lot of sense. And I feel like both our yin and yang in terms of within ourselves, is now like kind of, in a togetherness. Our divine feminine and our divine masculine are very much so balanced today. And what I want to say is going forward, it will be that as well, right? So because we've also worked at this, we want this for ourselves, right? It's a part of our happiness, which some of us don't realize, but it's definitely part of our happiness. Interesting. So this is the number 4 card. And I like how simple these are. These are like, it's like, they're like, some of them are simple, some of them are intricate. This I feel is like the midway, right? Which is interesting because it's like the midway in the center. But this is basically, the number 4, it just, signifies, what does it signify? It signifies like foundation. It also signifies, gratitude. Okay. So you're kind of like, by you coming together within yourself, I feel as though you have been heightened, right? And in terms of your heightening, so has your gratitude and so has your level of tolerance within your foundation, right? So you are easily able to, from this higher perspective, you're easily able to see where have you been right this entire time and where have you been wrong. But I feel as though you're 75%, if not 80%, pretty sure and pretty right about yourself in terms of your foundation and how you've ended up building it. I feel as though since you're at the top of you're like at the top of your game with it, which that could definitely be it. You are at the top of your game because you've set it into place. It's pretty accurate, but also from a bird's eye view, you can see it from you. Like this is you kind of, I guess, looking at it in a sense from a bird's eye view. You're seeing it from the aspect of, is there anything more that you can kind of like do to perfect it? You know what I'm saying? Or also translate it is what I'm getting. Like, is there anything, like, how are you, now that you're at the top and you've got this right for yourself, and you're willing to share it with other people, in terms of like a business or developing a business, or, you know, kind of spreading the knowledge in some way. And I feel as though it is through a business. But like you're kind of figuring out a method of delivery, and you know, how to basically translate this information that you know, in terms of having it be more like marketable, and also having other people understand its importance, you know. And because again, I don't think that gratitude, you know, gratitude and foundation work, and functioning of a foundational work is never that is never that exciting, right? Like systematic work is never that exciting. A lot of people find it like redundant or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but it's so structure is so necessary. So talk about the structure. It's like your foundation, because the structure is so tall, that means your foundation is set so deep. And so by that, it's like you've risen, you know what I'm saying? And this is definitely moon status, I feel. So it's kind of like you've risen so far up that it's like you're touching the moon. This also kind of gives me the feels of, oh, this is so beautiful. Okay. This gives me the feel of the little prince status. So I feel like you're like in dream state today. You're kind of, yeah, you're in dream mode today, to be like, yo, whatever I want, I can have, and whatever I dream up, I can literally be that, you know? So you feel very close to the moon. You feel very even, much so like triumphant with the moon or the sun. This could be the sun, since it's kind of midday today. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, you're just leaning upon these sun energies. You feel very satisfied in how far you've come. You're like, for me, I feel that way too, even though we may, well, I mean, I guess we're kind of midday. I feel that way too, because of the fact that I just feel like I just need to rest today. Like, I've done so much work in terms of just everything and nonstop and go, 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 that it's like, and not nonstop, it's always like a steady flow, right? So that's what I mean by nonstop. I mean, I can handle the pace of it, but at one point you just want to not think a little bit, right? Like, you want to like kind of you know, change perspectives. So again, this is a card about perspective too, where it's like, you know, you're kind of seeing if there's a fresh perspective needed to be placed upon the groundwork, yes, in terms of gratitude and foundations, which is groundwork, which is beautiful. But I feel as though you're like, you floated up, like it's really kind of taking you to a different level. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been so consistent with it. What was that? Oh, that's interesting. I smell like burning plastic, and I'm like, what is that? There's nothing wrong. All right. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, talk about like you. It's kind of like you've lifted off, leaving the dust behind. You know. Also, this could have been like a shitstorm behind you in terms of like what you've just come out of, in terms of being like, you know, kind of like the phoenix on the like the phoenix that has risen. It's like you that's you know, and you're celebrating this today. And you're also kind of like this self-knowledge and the self-spirituality and the knowledge and like all that you've learned thus far. It's like you want to kind of put it in some sort of systematic way where it's easy for other people to learn, because it's like a part of your legacy in a sense. Okay. So, that's what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling you're now leaning upon this groundwork like pretty amazingly, where it's like it's easy for you to keep it going, and also you're just you feel empowered. I mean, look at you, like you're just like, yo, I'm with the sun, I'm with the moon right now. Like, first of all, we're in the moon energies, right, from last night. So but like also you're like shining during the day. You feel triumphant, you know what I'm saying? So so yeah, so I just feel as though you're feeling shiny, you're feeling triumphant. You're like, what's the guy, I can't remember. It's like Captain Morgan. Yeah, that's what it is. Like your Captain Morgan status, in terms of like, you know, the spirit that you drink. It's like you feel that way, you know? You just like Captain Morgan your life. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything else to this? No. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so it's the number 28, which is adds up to 10, which is kind of like also simplifies down to 1. So I want to say individualistically, excuse me, you're kind of like by yourself. You've come into your own and you're still walking the path that you need to walk on, okay? Because you still know that you're on the right path. So it's kind of like a story, like, and I love that it is like a story that you kind of like end up just being downloaded. But so you're here midday and you're like, okay, great. I'm acknowledging my my wins and how far I've come, and I feel very empowered. And then it's kind of like, okay, but you've given that to yourself. But towards the end of the day, you're kind of like, I'm hearing planning, so it's kind of like you have now acknowledged this for yourself. You feel very close to the moon, and now it's like, okay, now you've given yourself the time to embrace the celebration of it, but now you're like, okay, I gotta still kind of continue my work, and so you're like kind of in a sense walking away from the moon, where the moon or the sun seems small. It's interesting. I'm actually seeing this as the sun now, and then this as the moon. So it's like you feel, and it's interesting because this person is more like in the dark about stuff, but I feel as though the unknown has been very much so coming to light, okay? In terms of, that's been one of my signs for today. So it's kind of like you're okay now that you've done all this work and you've really gotten familiar with the unknown, like being in pure respectful mode of it, like in a sense of where it doesn't scare you anymore. You just kind of want to be with it, like you are with it now, in terms of not in a negative sense of the darkness, but more so in the unknown. And you're okay that your entire being is in the unknown, because you at least see a little bit of the light. You've seen a little bit of the light earlier on in the day, which is giving you hope to kind of move on and move forward in your life. The next thing I'm getting is that like your mind, by you being so close to the sun today, or you being out in nature, or whatever it is, by you being uplifted in some way or somehow, your mind is now like you've completely walked away, or the moon, whether this is you being in nature under the moon, or because of this earlier kind of like embracive celebratory moment, this triumphant moment, you literally are sparked. Your mind is sparked. It's kind of like, okay, this is really cool. Like I can kind of, even though everything is still in the unknown stages, like you can at least see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're willing to even like not even stick around for it. You're willing to just accept it, embrace it, and being like, okay, cool, this happened, but yet still do you, right? Individualistically. And I'm hearing like happy and excited. It's just kind of like, this kind of looks like a miserable card, but it's not. It's more so like, look at, he's like, he has broad shoulders. Like that means like he's like in full power. I also feel that he's cloaked, which is kind of like protected in terms of what he wants to do next. So it's kind of like, if you can think of like Batman is like the superhero of the night, and that's what you feel like. You can feel like fucking, like, I don't know, Superman during the day and Batman by night. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's going to resonate with somebody, like, in terms of maybe that's you. Like, maybe you fuck around like that. Like, you always say that to yourself, to get you kind of more empowered. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's going to resonate with somebody out there. So, that's hilarious. I love it. So, yeah, that's like, or, for the women, you're like Catwoman at night. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything else here right now that I have to say about these cards? Okay, no, there isn't. So let me just move on to these, and let me ask. 18, thank you so much for the highest and best 3 cards placed at the top of this deck. That clearly, support the cards that we've just received, but also clearly describe to us deeper what these energies of today are all about. Thank you. Do I stop shuffling the cards right here, right now? Do I stop shuffling the cards right here, right now? Wait, is it for my highest best good to stop shuffling the cards right here now? Yeah, I'm getting yes. All right. I just have to double check because sometimes I don't know if it's me saying yes or them saying yes. I'm like, because I don't want to shuffle fucking anymore. Maybe that's what it is. Love these cards. Okay. Wisdom. Okay, that's cool because that was actually... Oh, no, it wasn't. Sorry. I saw the 22 card was at the top of the deck. So, all right, they want me to turn all of them over. Oh, my God. Cultivation. All right. Awesome. Oh, beautiful. Oh, my God. This is so fucking cool. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, okay, this is so fucking cool. All right. So, and thank you, 18, for like the electric, like excitement, enthusiasm that I'm getting about this. All right. So, all right, we're talking about spirituality, knowledge, and here comes divine wisdom. Beautiful. Number 32. That's basically something that you might want to hold in terms of like hold on to that number so that if you see it throughout your day, you right away know to connect to wisdom. Okay. It says, know well, so it's so beautifully, like, in alignment, right, with what we're doing. I just love that. I love when fucking synchronicity comes into play and when things are just aligned and are just, like, harmonious and flowing. I fucking love that. So that's what's being cultivated today is wisdom. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back and choose the path that leads to wisdom, which is wisdom is forward movement, okay? Or it's standing still, right? It's that basically it's kind of like just pause for a second, okay? That's either or. But yeah, you use the past to kind of have you learn, to kind of have you recognize what you've learned from the past and not to ignore it, right? So you use like the lesson learned from the past because the past is never wasted either, you know? And it all had something to do, it all was placed into your life's path for a reason, okay? For you to either relearn, and maybe that's something that you had relearned also, or you're about to relearn through the decisions that you're making. As the Buddha taught, wisdom is the actual means by which we can purify ourselves, which is amazing because pure action is next. So it's beautiful. I mean, like in the total, at the end of the day, or kind of at the opposite end of the spectrum, but yet still connected, right? It's beautiful. Just knowing this brings calmness and then faith, and eventually it brings truth to the light. Wow, that's beautiful. I'm going to read that again. Just knowing this, which is wisdom, is the actual means by which we can purify ourselves. Just by knowing this brings calmness and then faith, which I'm also getting ease, okay? And eventually it brings truth to the light. Now, when it says truth to the light here, I really feel that the truth to the light here is love, okay? So again, we're going back to romantic love. I feel as though by you waiting on this, the culmination of the, like, basically the finale of this completion to happen, which it's in the process of doing, you are literally gaining a lot of wisdom. You're doing a lot of reading. You're doing a lot of research, you know, in terms of calming yourself down, in terms of keeping yourself distracted in a good way, in a very utilized, useful type of way, so that you can kind of grow more while you're waiting, but also, again, strengthen your faith in that whatever you need or you're like waiting upon, that you've been like yearning for in a sense, is going to come to fruition. And actually 3 + 2 is 5, which is change. So it's kind of like you're like yearning for this change to happen within your life, which it's now actually going to start turning in that direction, because a completion has happened. So like now kind of like the Wheel of Fortune kind of takes over, where it kind of, you know, it turns into your favor when we're talking about traditional tarot. So you're literally just kind of like, you're just rolling with the punches. Like you're just like me right now. Like it's like if I just take a book right now, which I will at the end of this, after this after this video, like after this video is being made, like that'll so keep me content and keep me like definitely just full on, like just not thinking about how much you're yearning about something that you so want in your life anymore. It's like you are able through a book, you know, through expanding your mind in a different way, you're able to let go and distract yourself in a good way, like I said, in terms of, you know, letting the time pass quicker, but in a more useful way, where you're going to feel very much so, you know, faith-filled or rejuvenated in your faithfulness, if that makes any sense. Or you're going to be faith-filled in a more rejuvenated way. You know, I felt that in my heart. So it's like, that's so super great. And that the truth of the light is love. I mean, that's literally what it is. So while you're waiting for the universe to bring you the truth of the light, which is love, you are literally, you know, keeping calm. You're doing calm activities, and then you're actually you're basically working towards, or applying yourself towards, not even working, applying yourself towards, you know, interesting kind of receptive activities that will just keep you calm and is the word restless? Yeah, restful. Restful. Yeah, you're keeping calm, you're keeping restful, which is the opposite of restless. And you're totally, and it's prolonging your faith, right, within you, and knowing that, you know what, you are deserving of what you want, and it's coming soon. It's just not in your time. A little bit more patience is needed. Do I mention what I just got? I'm getting 3 days, okay? I don't like to say that, but it's like in the next 3 days, you got to keep this up, okay? This type of, you know, like expansion on the wisdom up. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh my God, this is so exciting. So, are we good with this card? Yeah. Here's the number 36. This is why this is so fucking cool. Okay, because today I realized, so 36 represents energy. Here's why this is so fucking cool. Is because I guess a year ago, and again, my phone is ringing and I have no idea where it is. It's like in my sheets probably somewhere or something. I don't know. I gotta pick it up sooner or later. But in my phone, sorry about that, guys. In my phone, I literally plugged into my calendar that today is Nikola Tesla's new birthday, okay? New birthday meaning this is the day that he passed away, or passed on, or crossed over, however you want to call it. Now, what's amazing is that he was very much so about the yin and the yang, and he was very much so about energy. Obviously, we're talking, and free energy at that, which is, it's like so amazing, because I feel like there is this free energy at the apex of today, or the bridging of today, or whatever you want to talk about. Like maybe it's like your individuality along with this culmination of sorts that is giving you this free energy midday today, you know, or the highlight of your day today, where you're feeling this energy. But he was very much so about that. And not only that, I didn't even realize it until the calendar reminded me of it today, that I even plugged that into my phone last year. But also that like, so he stands for that. So it's like, but not only that, okay, so this is what I want to say, is that the number 3, 6, and 9 are very much so the frequency that he was talking about in terms of his legacy type of teachings. So he was saying, if you know the power of 3, 6, and 9, you'll know the basically the entire universe, how the entire universe works. Now, what's really interesting is that in Feng Shui, 3 and 6 and 9 are all very much so powerful numbers that they actually encourage, right? That they teach about. So this is basically a Buddhist Feng Shui even reading, which is crazy. So, and it's crazy that this all correlated in one thing. But also what I wanted to mention is, if you watched my video last night, I mentioned him in the video, or it wasn't last night, it was maybe it was yesterday for the reading, the first reading that I did yesterday, put it that way. I it was the daily vibes reading. Like literally I mentioned him there, and then come to find out, and also like how it all worked out. Like I was told to put the 7 down in terms of the title of that video, right? The 6 to the 7th. And it's like, oh, this is why, because he literally was in that reading, and then he like ended up being in this reading. So what I'm going to do today, and what I'm going to encourage you to do today as well, is that this is a perfect day to basically get educated and learn and become more knowledgeable about the 369 energy, excuse me, but also to honor Nikola Tesla in terms of, you know, how he was a part of giving us electricity and through energy, through his belief in energy, and also, you know, by you being a full gratitude, like I was saying here, that's a groundwork of gratitude, like honor him in that way by, you know, learning about his life, or, you know, there's a lot of like movies on Netflix about his life, but also, you know, on YouTube and stuff. I mean, there's so much, because obviously the Tesla electric car has come out, so, you know, that's been honoring him in a very good way. So I mean, also there's something maybe with Tesla with a car, something about that aspect of life, like if you want to even, you know, read up about Tesla, the car itself, like that's a good thing to kind of like honor him as well. So it's I think it's definitely very good to keep that in mind today. And I just wanted to say, from the bottom of my heart, energetically speaking, I am super grateful for, you know, Nikola Tesla, and how he fucking completely, I can cry, because he literally like reached the stars with his dreams, and he left us such a beautiful legacy. And you know what makes me want to cry is that, first of all, his mom really fucking believed in him, okay? And that's where I've just come into that phase of my life where my mom, like, she was maybe afraid to like believe in me, because she was afraid of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that she was afraid to believe in me. She was afraid of the unknown and what I was what I was going after, because I'm very comfortable in the unknown. But like I'm just super grateful that he's reached this apex of his life so that we can all benefit from it. And it's something that I absolutely want to do for the world. I don't know in what way yet, but you know, it's like, I just know that if I just connect with my spirituality, because he was very spiritual. He believed, I mean, if you're spiritual, you believe in energy. I mean, that's basically what it is. And you function out of energy. So he had a lot of dreams, and I was going to say that you probably had a lot of dreams last night in terms of what's leading you. Like, I had asked for a dream last night, and I received one, and I'm so super grateful for it, that it's literally like leading into I'm okay, you know? But also, I mean, like, the legacy he left behind for all of us, for us to have more convenience in our life, is super fucking beautiful. And, you know, and it was all due to his nonstop fucking belief in energy, and nonstop belief in what he was receiving from the unknown universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, his mom, like, believed in all of this really good stuff. I'm gonna put my foot down, which I feel like is very much so symbolic. Oh, it's in my pocket. So yeah, I'm gonna put my foot down in terms of, and actually there was a card yesterday that I did for the healers where one foot was up and one foot was down. So I feel like that's how I am right now in that position, where it's like, you know, I'm grounded, but I'm also believing. And that's what he did. He was super grounded and also believing in his work, and, you know, and it's just amazing, because he didn't give a damn about anything. He didn't give a damn about money. He didn't give a damn about anything. It's like his importance here was to fucking leave a legacy, and that's basically what it is. And that's what I want to cultivate in this life, is basically, like, you know, we give a lot. First of all, I want to be able to help the people that are inventing shit, like, let them live their fucking lives out so that they can actually leave this life with a legacy, okay, that for humanity, right? Because sometimes when you're back and forth, like, not being supported, or not having, you know, I was thinking about life being, you know, we go on vacations and we're like, oh, all what, oh my god, my foot's going, my foot fell asleep, so it's like It's going. What was I gonna say? We talk about all inclusive, vacations, and I'm like, I want an all inclusive fucking life. Do you know what I'm saying? So that I can literally, basically, that's what I want to create for inventors, like an all inclusive life, because you're actually working towards something positive for this world. And I don't think that they need the distraction to be bothered with fucking money and having to figure out how to survive in this life, like humanitarian wise, versus versus them concentrating on and focusing on their lives and what their life needs to bring to the table in terms of like creation. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of the times, like people who are inventors, I mean, thank God everything is a part of the life path, right, that we need to go through. But I'm saying, like, some of it is really unnecessary. Like, if you could just leave a fucking person alone for them to just create, they'd bring more to this world than anything, And I know it because through experience, I'm like, this is kind of bullshit, because like you're here for a good purpose, and you want to make sure that you leave it, that you leave the good purpose behind, but sometimes you get distracted. You know what I'm saying? In terms of having to figure out your life, in terms of how you're going to support yourself and sustain yourself. Like, that fucking shit is crazy. That's why I'm all for that free energy, what he was talking about in terms of energetically, but also functionality wise, like thank you very much, Gma, for backing me up on that with your sneeze. But yeah, I mean, I'm all about that in terms of, I want the free energy for everybody, not for everybody, but like, and the thing is, we can all attain that, but it's like, for those that actually want it, really are deserving of it, right? Like they're the ones that are willing to work for it, right? And willing to receive it. So the whole thing is, free energy, I want it on a practical level, and I want it on a spiritual level. That's for myself, and that's for all others who resonate with me. And that's what I want to leave behind, is that type of thing where it's like, like as a humanitarian, I just feel like these people who are inventing shit should not be fucking scraping fucking crumbs off the ground while they're trying to, really bring something, like manifest something or bring something forward into fruition, right? Like to keep us moving forward, right? Like that's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's like they are the believers that actually believe in creating something better for us as a human society, but also the world. And it's just like, why the fuck do they have to have this? Like, if they are that, and if they've owned up to it, then why do they have to, why do they have to go through like the kind of ups and the downs when they can literally just like even keel level out and make sure that, and we can all make sure that they're in good standing, because we know, if you know anything about Tesla was put through the fucking ringer in terms of monetary shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he really could have just been like applying himself more and more towards his purpose here, But I mean, listen, nothing goes to waste. So we're not even gonna like say that. I'm just saying, like, I'm just so proud of him. I'm proud to be a part of his culture. I'm proud to be, because now I understand what culture he came from. And he needed to fucking ignore a lot of the bullshit that comes with the European culture, that for him to literally simplify himself down to, it's his dreams, his mom believes in him, so she was able to possibly like support him in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how, like, no one covered that aspect of how the fuck did he live, when he was just full on focusing on creating. So he must have been supported somehow, some way, before he ended up even being known by these big people. Like, his mom must have supported him in thinking like, yeah, I believe in my kid, I'm gonna just support him financially until he fucking figures out this invention. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to know what happened before Tesla became you know, like famous for inventions, because like how was he supported? Because I know a lot of people probably tried to call him crazy, because also he never dated, dating wasn't important to him, and that was kind of like that. Like it's very interesting. We live a very similar type of pathwayed life. And I understand it from so many things, and I just respect the shit out of him that he was able to simplify so hard to being like it's him, his dreams, and his mother that that he was probably grateful for, to bring to him, to bring it to bring something to fruition where you feel like you've conquered your fucking shit that was like that's been in your way, you know, and it's so. I don't know what else to say about that, but I just think it's just so fucking beautiful, and I'm just so grateful for him on so many different levels. Like honestly, it's just it's so abundant. It's so abundant that if you felt into that, and you really connected to him as a person, to be like, yo, what he must have fucking gone through in order to kind of like achieve his shit, like even just on a humanitarian basis, like it's just so beautiful. First of all, I just have to say it's so beautiful for a mother to believe in their own fucking child, okay? And sadly enough, that doesn't happen that often. You would think it's fucking common sense that you brought a creation and a baby into this world, but you know, the older generations are very interesting. It's like they don't believe in themselves, so they can't believe in their kids. But like only the spiritual ones understand that it's believing in your kids, that even if you don't believe in yourself, if you believe in your fucking kids and your creation, you will lift them, you will skyrocket them up to the fucking moon, okay? This is why I'm always gonna be the fucking crazy one that believes. I'm always gonna be the little prince, or princess rather, that believes, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe in this, you know, I believe in getting there, you know, and I know that those that fucking care will get there at no matter what the fucking cost, okay? Because the thing is, here's the thing, from a Capricorn perspective, no one else fucking matters. Really, I'm telling you this right now with the story that I just fucking told you and what I've also been through in my life. No one, not that no one else matters. It's like no one else's, everyone matters. So with that being said, no one else's judgments of what you need to be doing in this life for yourself and for the bigger picture of helping humanity, the judgments don't matter. You know, the judgments are to be ignored. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's like letting your freak flag fly, and you know, you looking like a freak, or you doing shit like a freak, like fuck that shit. Like if people are choosing to judge you, that's their shit. Leave it to them. Don't fucking react or be responsive towards that shit. It's like, just let it be, you know? Let It Be. Listen to that song today. I'm actually going to karaoke it up to that song today. Let It Be and Imagine is a beautiful two songs to really listen to today in terms of cultivating this type of energy. So, you know, I'm very grateful for, I'm super grateful. Honestly, I'm like, it's just beautiful. The number 36, energy. You are never alone or helpless, okay? Because yes, you do have spirit. I mean, spirit was sending, you know, Tesla, the universe, even universe, spirit, same thing. They were all sending their ideas to him, funneling it into him because he was a believer, okay? And he came from a spiritual mother who was also a believer. So she was like, so I guess she had no problem believing, but this is why I would love to make people more believers within themselves, but I may not be here to do that. I may do that in terms of, you know, like that may come off sometimes, that I'm trying to make people believers, and maybe that's what I've been doing for a little while, but I've actually come to the realization that I'm exhausted from that. So I don't think that that's my purpose, because it's so, I don't fucking care, you know? I just want to support the believers. Those that believe, those that are spiritual, that's who I want to support. I don't want to support the non-believers, because maybe you have more karmic fucking shit to do in your life that I can't stick around for. Okay, so that's basically what it is, because I can't waste my time here either. Let's put it that way, all right? Simply put. And that's said with all kindness and sending all love your way. You know, I just can't waste my time in terms of dealing with the non-believers because it's such a fucking resistance that really doesn't even need to be there, okay? And it's a fear factor that they're choosing to play off of that I can't do. I need to be of love, and I need to be heightened by it and reach this apex in my life, because that's really what we're all here to do. We have a purpose, guys, and it's not just to have babies, and it's not just to have, I mean, listen, babies are cool too, because listen, they obviously will bring something one day if you believe in them, like genuinely enough and long term enough, and have that be unconditional, not the unconditional love that they kind of like say, oh, love unconditionally. It's like, no, the love unconditionally, it's like, it's beautiful, but we also have to be real with ourselves. Like, a baby, we love a baby, but when it starts crying, we love it a little less. Do you get what I'm saying? But but yet we'll still take care of it, which is unconditional. However, the fact that that's how we feel, but the believing in them has to be unconditional, because we are all here for a fucking purpose, and that's what it is. And therefore, we have to believe in ourselves unconditionally, and that's what I choose to do, permanently and prosperously from this moment forward, as I say it, in this lifetime and beyond it, because I've had a major, that was like one thing that I had to really kind of come to apex about it, because of the fact that I wasn't of that, and I wasn't understanding, I was of the notion that if other people don't believe in me, then it's the aspect of maybe there's something wrong with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you feel like you're living your life right and intuitively, but maybe there's something wrong with you, but that's not the case. There's nothing wrong with anybody. There's always something right with somebody, okay? But the whole thing is, we're choosing, a lot of the people in terms of, I've been raised old school. There's nothing wrong with them either. It's just that they're choosing to live a traditionally type of, non-believable lifestyle, which is majority of them. I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them, because they were raised either non-religious or religious, and those are your two things. And even if you're raised religious, sometimes it's not spiritual. It's not in the believing aspect. It's more of like more in the disciplinary aspect, right? So whatever. So that's what I'm saying. So it's just kind of like they're not and also it's very talking about you are never alone or helpless. They were raised, and I don't know why. I don't know where that energy came from, but I'm going to say right now that as I'm saying it, I'm clearing that fucking out, and that's a confirmation. Is that literally this helpless factor that I don't know where the fuck it came from. It needs to be cleared out today. In all, in all societies, in all lineages, in all people's hearts, and that needs to be transmuted immediately into helpfulness and believableness in yourself, so that you can kind of get fucking moving with your life, in a way that is going to change your life for the better, for the excitement aspect, for the aliveness aspect of it. And not so much, oh, we're just here to just fucking, just watch TV, come home, watch TV, and just like call it a day. It's like, no, there's so much more that you are here for, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to also believe in others, and never fucking, and even if you don't believe in yourself, guys, you must show up for another person and believing in them. You must do it, because the aspect of you giving the belief to somebody else is in return feeding, basically you're listening to yourself as you say it. And your subconscious is then saying, hey, I really like that, actually. I'm going to take that for myself. And so you're believing in it within yourself, and you're feeding this goodness out to somebody else where, cyclically it comes back to you. And I'm not saying, like, genuinely speaking, believe in somebody. Genuinely. And the more genuine you do something, the more karmically quicker it comes back to you, in terms of, like, when you need it, in a certain time and a certain period of time, or a certain stage of your life, you will have it, you will receive it. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why your life is continuously blessed, whether or not you see like a lack in your life at some point. It's never a lack. It's because you are not ready to receive what you need in that moment in time yet. Like, you haven't reached that moment in time yet where you're ready to receive what you've put out. Do you get what I'm saying? You haven't grown into it yet. So never see it as a lack. And maybe the helplessness comes from a lack point of view, that you don't have it here in the now. So what are you going to do? You're just helpless about it. It's like, no, you're not helpless. You have a lot of resources around you to actually start building it, if anything. And then once you come to the point where the universe knows that you're ready to, to feel like this, like you've become this, you know what I'm saying? Because you've learned from the past like this, you've also united, like within yourself, the divine masculine, divine feminine. The universe then grants you your wishes, right? Like that's how they know. Because without gratitude, guys, you're not going to get shit. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's like you're going to keep on dying and living in terms of like coming back, like dying out of this life and coming back from a next life, to learn the fucking idea of gratitude and how things come back to you when you are foundationally stable in your groundwork of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? So it's just fucking beautiful. So let me just continue. I'm just like super highlighted by this, middle energy. It's amazing. The force that guides the stars guides you too. How amazing is that? That's fucking beautiful. Okay. So, and the force that we're talking about here is love. Okay. So love is the energy that is a force. It's a force field. It's a force that comes at you. It's everything is love energy, okay? So energy equals love equals energy, okay? That's basically what it is. And we have to understand that from a 369 point of view. So I'm actually going to do some research on that today and see what comes out of it, because I didn't even realize to do that, but that makes sense. Energy is more than just cultivating physical boundless energy. It is making the connection with the universal life force that motivates all creations in the universe and in you. So what I want to say here is what's motivating you today is the life force of love, but the life force of believing, both, okay? The universal life force, so the connection is the love part, and the motivation is the believing part, okay? And you have to believe in love. You really have to have faith, because faith showed up here. Faith leads you to the love of yourself, the wholesome love of yourself, and the light of yourself, the truth of the light, which is also love, right? That we were saying. And also the believing in yourself, which is motivating you, like I just saw 222. So that's trust and believe. That's fucking amazing. So that just goes to show you, it's like, keep trusting, keep believing, have faith. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing, guys. It's just me. So then, oh, look at this. We're on to the next one where, like I said, you're walking away, you're keeping it moving, right? Here's the number 8, pure action. So you're not pausing. Like, you've paused a little bit to, feel into this energy, but you're still keeping moving at what you believe in terms of cultivating it purely. Now it says number 8 is pure action, and this is something that you're going to work on infinitely. Like, this is a passion, whether it was downloaded to you as you were raised here, in this energy of like, I got it. Like, there's this lightning strike that you're like, okay, I get it now. And so you received something from this energy because you've also given over yourself to this love and believing. And now you're sparked, right? I said you were sparked with something. So you're sparked, you're moving along, and you're basically saying, I'm connected, I'm motivated, which is, again, you're in loving connection with it, you're in believing motivation of it, and you do this for a fucking lifetime, which is the number 8, which is over and over and over again. You fucking choose this passion over and over again because you fucking love it so much, okay? So something is being brought into your world of very high vibrational energy that you need to kind of expand upon, okay? That you need to do in your way, which is so exciting, guys. That's where the enthusiasm comes from, where it's like you get to create, okay, in your way, or create what your visions, and only your visions, like whatever is downloaded to you are yours only. Like no one else is getting that in this world. That's how unique we are, right? So it's like to pass that shit up, to pass up on that opportunity would be fucking ludicrous, okay? So here it says is refrain from that which is refrain from that which is unskillful or that which harms, which is what I was saying Tesla did. He fucking refrained from all that. He was like, yo, fuck everybody else's drama. Fuck what everybody else has to say judgment wise and all that stuff. And he refrained from it. Do you know what fucking power that takes? That takes a lot of fucking I don't give a fuck power, okay? It says, do good and purify your heart. That is it. That is it. He did that. He did that. He like literally simplified it down to that, right? So this is why this is purely exciting. I just love it. So it's like purely exciting action being taken where you're really kind of, you've simplified so much where you're just like, that's it. That's all I'm doing. Whether it be something out of happiness, and I think it's out of conquering, guys. Something's conquered here that you've realized. You've learned something, you've come into the realization and you're like, dude, it's just me, my good heart, and keeping it fucking purified, you know, and also following my dreams at the same time to actually, you know, do the dreaming or dream doing in this life, right? So it says, consciously bring, and thank God, because I'm such a fucking minimalist too, so I understand this for a fucking like I'm actually not, I don't like to call myself a minimalist. I like to call myself a simplicist, you know, like let's cycle in the simplicity, but also you know, an enoughist, right? Where it's just like you're living in the abundance of enough and simplicity, and I love that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that really is so manageable, and that's where your happiness is at, and that's actually a Buddha teaching. So it says consciously, but I actually didn't, the funny part is I didn't learn it from a Buddhist standpoint because I didn't read any of the sacred texts, guys. Like that, let's be real, like I just haven't. I just kind of picked up different things and I've created my own thoughts, you know what I'm saying, in terms of how I want to live my life. So I've created it upon myself, but I guess you have to thank Spirit for that too, because Spirit is working with you. You're never alone. Like this card says, you're never alone. And they're always helpful, okay? So this is why spirituality is huge. Never stop believing in it, okay? And that's what Tesla did, dude. I love it. I love it. I love it. So it says, consciously bring your inner awareness to your actions. As you make a commitment, which is also connection, not to harm or destroy any life, not to take away, and not only... When you're saying harm and destroy, that's also bringing down. That's also being fucking negative. That's also being fucking just not believing in somebody, right? It says not to take away things that don't belong to you and not to use sex in a harmful way to yourself or others. So it's kind of like using and abusing, right? You don't want to be that way towards somebody else. You want to act as if you treat others the way that you treat yourself. Why would you use yourself or fuck yourself over in terms of using and abusing yourself in sex? You would never. You would want to love yourself in sex. You would want to make love to yourself romantically in sex if you could make love to yourself. Okay? That's basically what it... So it's like treat others as you would want to be treated. It's always going to come down to that even sex, right? Okay, so let's just read that again. It says, where was I? It says, okay, as you make a commitment not to harm or destroy any life, not to take away things that don't belong to you, and not to use sex in a harmful way to yourself or others. Also, what I'm getting here is to not use something that somebody told you against them as if it's like a fucking... like ammunition, okay? You don't do that, because when somebody tells you something out of trustworthiness, you fucking keep it out of trust, or else you're going to lose that trust between them and you. And that goes for kids, that goes for adults, that goes for any age whatsoever. So keep it confidential, okay, is what I'm trying to say. And let the drama stop with you. That is literally the entire thing. Whether you have to dress it or whether you have to not give a shit about it, let it stop with you. That's another big thing. Your actions will become free from old habits. Again, free energy, okay, is what Tesla is all about. And that's what's coming out here, which is fucking amazing. From old habits, past experiences, and any negative emotions. So it says your actions will become free from old habits, past experiences, and any negative emotions. So this cycle that you've come to kind of close out is actually very both good and both bad, right? It's kind of a cycle that you've closed out with a person that maybe a phase or a person that you no longer want to be in, but now it's like, endings and new beginnings. But these new beginnings are super motherfucking huge because you close out the cycle and look what you get. Okay? This is what I love too. Look at how the red is depicted as a mind here. And the moon is also a mind. Or the sun is also a mind. So it's like, look at that. Look at that. Just look at the connection. Mind here, the sun is a mind. This is a mind, sparked mind by the moon, because I feel like this is the sun is kind of the rising sun, and the moon is also known as like emotional, and it's like, it's also like it's like the what comes up, right, like after the sun. So I want to say it's like the lower part of you, the emotional part of you, but it's like it's all connected, and this is why you need to listen to your dreams, and you need to be appreciative of your dreams and all of the downloads that you get, and honor and respect it, and never ignore it, especially when it comes to intuition, because the sun and the moon both feed your fucking mind, guys, so that you end up being sparked. Again, this is why spirituality is so fucking huge, and spirituality means nothing more than, to simplify it, it means nothing more than gratitude, a foundational groundwork of gratitude, okay, and appreciation. Believing in yourself and in others, but also believing in others first if you can't believe in yourself, okay? Just giving. It's giving and receiving. So it's gifting what you need for yourself in a very genuine way, but also spirituality means genuine, and it means meaningfulness, guys. So it's like the way that you create this life needs to be a meaningful and meaningful way to you first, right? And then express it to others. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be what motivates you. It's your connection and your commitment and your cultivation, to this boundless energy. And so you're basically, boundless energy is this flow of cycle. It's your wheels, the wheels turning in your mind. Okay. So it's like, that's what's going to keep you going. Spirituality also is kindness. Spirituality is also treating others as you would want to be treated, okay? Respect the shit out. I mean, this is why I love and respect the old school fucking ways, and I won't let go of it in many ways. And I'm getting so passionately heated about this, like in terms of my insides, my innards, is that the old school way really taught that as a foundation. Maybe they didn't teach about, gratitude, because I had to expand on it, but they taught about, and counting your blessings is another thing, by the way, in terms of gratitude, but and appreciation. But another thing is like they've literally laid down the ground rules for respect. They've now it's like they were the divine masculine aspect of respect and how to treat others. You know what I'm saying? Treat others the way that you would want to be treated. That is huge in terms of what they've taught us, okay? But now we had to elevate it. We had to bring it to a next level in terms of being a little softer, okay? Kindness, it's soft. And basically we're soft skilling it, which is like they taught us the hard skills, in terms of also how the hard life is lived, okay? let's not get it twisted, because that is the fucking truth, at least in my life. I don't know about yours. But now we're taking the hard skills that make sense. They are of common sense. Common sense is also very spiritual too. So you go to a comedy show, they teach you common sense. That's also very much so spirituality, right? Creation is also, as you're creating artwork is spirituality, but artwork is also the divine feminine aspect of ourselves and of society, which is, you know, because the old school taught us like, oh, you know, the artists are like the what is it called, like they, not that they're sacrificial, but it's like they're starving, right? Starving artists. It's like in this society, you're no longer a starving artist, right? Like, especially with technology, it's amazing. So again, all of the divine feminine, so all of what they've taught us in terms of how the divine feminine is actually not a good thing, we are now putting it all together right today. Like, actually, it's the free energy by putting it all together and saying, you know what, the truth is both are very important, right? Both are very important. And one is the foundational groundwork. The other one is how to lift us up again. So if you watched my video yesterday, I was talking about, in one of the videos, I was talking about, oh, I think it was the healing video for the healers. The healing reading for the healers. It was about how one person had one foot down. He was sitting and he had one foot planted and the other one was like kind of crossed, you know, over his leg. And it's like, I was saying how we have one foot down, which is planted, and one foot, you know, kind of higher than the other, which means one is kind of elevated. So you're basically like, you're grounded in you're grounded in your belief system. You're grounded in, you know, in terms of just grounded, right? Grounded where you're able to pull your dreams from the skies or from the heavens or from the universe. And you're able to basically, like, you're both a believer and you're both grounded at the same time. So you're like a realist believer, okay? And by realist, I mean not the old school way of they call themselves a realist because they're really pessimists. It's really, you're a realist because you're like, no, this can actually happen. So you're a believer in yourself by being a realist, you know what I'm saying? And you're also a believer in your dreams, which you know come from the universe. So you are balanced in both worlds and it's so fucking beautiful. That's where I feel the free energy comes in. It's linked there somehow, some way. So, and it's also linked to love and to believing. So the whole thing is, it's like, you know, just take that away from this reading. You know, it's just super huge. Just take all of what I've said away from this reading because it was super fucking powerful. Do we talk about what's underneath the deck here at all? No. All right. So basically, guys, that is your, do we talk about the bottom of this deck at all? Okay, no. So that's your reading for today. You're doing great. So continue taking the pure action towards, you know, your life's goals, your life's mission, your life's dreams. And because you're doing the dreaming. You are living the dreaming, okay? So, you know, it's beautiful and it's very bountiful at the same time. That's what I'm also getting. Beautiful and bountiful. And just be grateful for that, you know? Like, and you're not where you're at for a reason, okay? So, because you're supposed to grow into that. Things are synchronistically supposed to take you there, okay? Life is supposed to flow you there. You're not supposed to just, like, you know, even with real love, by the way, like, a lot of us are a little impatient about it, but just know we're being taught to go with the flow because they will bring us to the divine life partner that we want in due time when the universe knows that we're officially ready, right? Because sometimes we need to maybe work on dreams a little bit more. Sometimes we need to even get more downloads. Sometimes we don't even fucking know why we're waiting, but yet it's like, it's basically to, I think, expand spiritually because obviously wisdom is here. And then also kind of gain this more independence so that we can have a healthier type of relationship, right, with ourselves and also with others. So, you know, the longer you wait, it's the better it is for you. Just know that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say with some things because, again, this life is all about yin and the yang. You have to listen to your intuition in terms of receiving it from the sun and the moon, which gets downloaded into your mind, sparked the fuck up, and you know, within your system, within your entire system. Look at his entire system. So that you can literally, you know, decipher through your heart. And again, it's red, so it's like a passionate heart, I feel, also protective. Where, you know, and again, the heart is love, the heart is your protection. Where you literally, what did I want to say here? It's like you listen to your heart, you listen to all that needs to go, and you follow it. I don't know, I lost what I was about to say there. But you listen to your heart and you literally take pure action from your heart. You're good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like this is number 8 is fucking amazing. I wanted to say something there, but I forgot what it was. Oh, that your heart. Oh, your heart is what deciphers between, you know, what speed a certain scenario needs. Your heart really kind of discerns what speed your life needs to take. Does it need to go quick? Does it need to go slow? You know, so again, always keep your heart pure. Do whatever it takes to keep your heart pure, whether it's concentrating on your dreams, expressing yourself, you know, all of that stuff is really beautiful. Connect with somebody else, commit to somebody else. I mean, it's just commit to yourself first, obviously, but also it brings the, you know, be inner aware. So, you know, meditation is a beautiful, beautiful thing to cultivate, you know, and inner awareness. That's why I like meditation a lot, because it allows you to become more inner aware and more prone to listening to your heart in the loud moments. Your heart becomes, you allow yourself to quiet down to listen to what your heart wants, what your instincts, what your intuition wants, and then you go at the speed it wants to go at, right? That's what controls you. It's your heart. It's not anything else. Your mind comes in, practically speaking, after. You know what I'm saying? In terms of how to, like, your heart is the leader, which I've always said, I'm a heart leader, okay? So your mind is the leader. Your mind is what is the master behind the plan of how you're going to do what your heart wants you to do. Okay, so that's basically what it is. So sometimes you go into this unknown. This is why I am so comfortable in the unknown, because my heart is just like, yo, I'm the one thing that you're just going to trust, and everything else is unknown. Like, just know that. You know what I'm saying? And you bring things into your now, you know, from the past in terms of what you've learned and cultivated, to kind of better your now and to better your future, right? Like, you learn from it. That's all that you take from the past. Like I said in the beginning, that's all you take from the past. And then you move forward with that collected in your heart, and you just kind of, and purified it with your heart, so that you kind of, you know, travel lightly. Look at this person. He's traveling without anything. You're traveling lightly. It's like you and your heart. That's it. And also the universe, in terms of, like, it's really interesting, because it's vice versa. It's like, now you are the universe. You understand that you are the universe, because you're like black on the inside, right? And there's purity around you. So all this shit storminess, this black that was here, you've come out of that. You're fucking golden. You know what I'm saying? And you've basically taken all of the shit storm within you, or that happened around you. You basically processed all of it within you, and now you're fucking in alignment. You're like, boom, boom, boom. You're stacked with your fucking bricks, you know? With your wisdom-based bricks, you know? It's not a heavy thing. It's just kind of like, you're more structured. You got this. Like, that type of bricks. You know what I'm saying? You're like well built. Amen. Love that. All right, so guys, I love you so much. I'm going to leave you with that. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Okay, love you. Enjoy your day. Bye.